Leave there your conveniences and settle into another episode of Film Club. Welcome back, everybody. Brad here.
Nice.
Jon-Erik, welcome, sir.
Thank you. Beat me to it. That's amazing. I couldn't do a better impression of the Count
Set out the
or
deed
not.
and sit. Oh my god, how did he do that voice throughout the whole movie? If you can't figure out which movie we're talking about
This is the
today,
guy. This is the guy that is the yeah, Georgie.
he's so
Like,
good, eh?
oh yeah.
And oh yeah, if you can't figure out what we're talking about today, 2024 film directed by our boy Robert Eggers, Nosferatu. This
One of
movie,
the
go
modern goats.
yeah, I'd say
One of the modern goats.
hasn't missed yet.
No.
IMO. Um, I have in my naivety in saying that I haven't seen The Northman. You have
Oh
though, right?
yeah, you got to get on that. It's funny. It's my least favorite of all of his movies. Actually, Nosferatu might be my least favorite of all of his movies, and it's still a five-star banger that I love. Why I've already seen twice. I don't see many movies that like in quick succession.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you're good.
Like I watched it on Christmas Eve or
Opening
night.
day,
I can't even remember.
was that pretty much
Opening day.
right?
It was Christmas. It was Christmas Day. Yeah. Uh, and then yeah, to rewatch it as soon as the Blu-ray came out. I don't do that very often, so that just shows how great a director he is and how great a movie it is. I'm pumped to talk about it today.
Me too. Me too. This is a movie that came out in 2024, just on Christmas Day, December 25th. Directed by Robert Eggers. Obviously, we already just said Robert Eggers did The Northman, which was in 2022, which it's on my to watch list. So don't shame me in the comments, okay? And also, he did The Lighthouse 2019, which Robert Pattinson, Willem Dafoe, who's also in this movie, and The Witch 2015. And yeah, he can't miss. And now he's got a movie coming up called Werewolf, or it's going to be like a period piece werewolf.
Werewolf. Yeah,
So I mean,
and it's funny enough, Lily Rose Depp from this and Aaron Taylor Johnson, they're being eyed to be cast in it. And Willem Dafoe, funny enough, during promos for Nosferatu, said that he will, at this point, if Robert Eggers calls him to do anything, he'll say yes.
yeah, those two have quite the bromance, eh? Watching,
They do, because like he was in Northman, he was in like not a lead role like Lighthouse, but like yeah, he said if he calls me to do anything, any role, I'm doing it. So that's exciting.
that's a testament to Eggers. And considering I'm not sure what
Yeah,
Eggers' age is, I don't have that. I could probably find it as we talk.
I feel like he's
He's a younger
he's
director, right?
around the same age. He's around the same age as my brother, or like maybe a little bit older. He's in his early 40s, I want to say.
Yeah, but he's got his shit together. So
Oh, absolutely.
before we dive into all the main players of this movie, I'd like to thank everybody for returning to another episode of Film Club. Thank you, everybody, for listening and engaging when you do. We're going to try and be consistent with pumping out some episodes, and we got some really exciting episodes coming up really soon. So if you're out there, thank you. Much love. Keep watching movies, and hit the like or subscribe button if you're out there, just so we know you're there. And we're going to keep plugging away at this thing. I'm really excited for, we'll get to that later, but
Yeah.
there's some good stuff coming up that I'm super excited about. But let's get to this first then. So obviously we just said Robert Eggers. The stars of the movie, Nicholas Hoult as Hutter, Thomas Hutter. He was also in Renfield in a very close proximity to this movie, which is kind of hilarious, right? Because he's like the straight man in Nosferatu, and then he's more comical relief in Renfield, from my understanding. I haven't seen the whole
And
thing. It kind of looked like a fun time, but
Renfield was a lot of fun. It was. I haven't seen it since theaters, but like you just mentioning that now, I was like, oh shit, I forgot about Renfield. I need to like get that for my collection. That's one that I do really want to rewatch again because it was a a lot of fun. And Nicolas Cage's Dracula, yeah, it was great.
Nick Cage being cagey, you know. So you have Nicholas Hoult, Lily Rose Depp as the newlywed Ellen Hutter. She is really good in this movie. Holy shit, I'd never seen her before in anything.
Fantastic in this movie. And I'd only seen like there were jokes about the show she did with The Weeknd, which were just criticizing his acting. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure she got criticized for her acting on it. It was just like people said it was a shit show. Shit show. Oh my god, a horrible show. I'd seen clips from the terrible looking movie she did with Kevin Smith's daughter that it was called Hoosier something. Hoosier.
Okay.
It looked terrible. It looked awful. She's really not been getting a lot of credit because she's been in shit. She's just been in terrible stuff. And then you watch this and you're like, okay, the apple didn't fall far from the tree because
Yeah.
obviously she's Johnny Depp's daughter, and yeah, she's a great actress, and this movie proves it. So it's good. It's exciting to know that she has a good career ahead of her because this was such a success critically and commercially, so
Yeah.
financially.
Absolutely. You love to see that, especially because she's one of the main stars in it, right? So it's like
And you could say you can argue the nepotism and all that shit, but no, she's actually talented. She's super talented.
yeah, even the
So
folks out there who are gonna nepo hire hashtag or whatever they
yeah,
do. No, she 100% proves, at least in my eyes, and I had zero expectations going into this movie other than her last name's Depp. But going into the movie and watching it, I thought to myself when it was done, I said, "Holy shit, she really goes for it in this film, and it's impressive." She's not afraid to go
yeah, definitely.
with the demonic, or not demonic, but the vision she's having, right? The haunting nightmares and all these things of
Mhm.
obviously this is a love and lust story, being Nosferatu, if you've seen the other iterations of this throughout the years. So Lily Rose Depp, I thought she not afraid to look ugly and crazy and do the Undertaker eyes rolling back and the tongue hanging out of the mouth,
Oh,
right?
crazy.
Like
Yeah,
just really going nasty with it. But I mean, that is, you know, that's part of the story, and she really sells it. So I thought she killed it.
100%.
Also,
Yeah,
Aaron
I
Taylor
agree.
Johnson, Friedrich Halding. He's a friend of the Hutters in this movie. It's Thomas, so he kind of looks after Ellen when she starts having these things, and of course Nick, Thomas has to go off. He's in the original one. I think that character is more of Thomas's character. Nicholas Hoult. I think he's more of like the straight man. Like it's more focused on him, and the ending is kind of shoehorned, like the 1922 Nosferatu Symphony of Horror,
Yes.
right? Or Symphony of, I think that's what it's called. Um,
Symphony of yeah, yeah.
and the ending's kind of shoehorned about like, oh, he just wanted her the whole time, whereas this movie, let me save it, but Aaron Taylor Johnson I thought did a great job of, like, he actually does have a character arc. It's cool to see him in this role, emotionally vulnerable at some
Yeah, I
points,
thought he
because he
was
usually
really good.
plays like a
Yeah.
strong character,
Mhm.
whereas like he's on the surface strong in this movie at the beginning, and then you kind of
Yeah,
see shit
exactly.
go south. His wife as well, Emma Corrin. She's his wife in this movie. They have two daughters. Kind of a more minor role, but she also does some really like crazy shit, like having the rats on her like semi-naked
Yes.
body during the one scene when Nosferatu Orlok's there. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go into that right now because we're gonna talk about the movie in a little bit. Who else do we have? Willem Dafoe, yet again. Professor Albin Eberhardt, or he's such a great character. When I saw him at first in this movie, I thought, wow, the guy's got a lot of cats. I'm jealous. Um, he's so good. He eats up every line he says. Is just like Yeah, he
I have
has some of the
seen
most
things in this
quotable.
world that would make Isaac Newton crawl back into his mother's womb.
Yeah, and the way he delivers it, it sounds diabolical as a line to
uh,
deliver, and somehow he says it, and it's like it's a little bit of humor in a very kind of dark and
yes.
like
Oh,
gothic,
he breaks
depressing
like
movie.
his character literally breaks the ice for like a very serious, very dark movie. When his character is introduced and like a line like that, I remember I was in a sold out screening of it on Christmas Day. The whole theater just burst out laughing with that line.
That's fantastic. You need that. You need that in horror movies, right? Like not
Yeah.
every single movie. I mean, yeah, some movies they don't have enough of that, but it just worked in this movie because the rest of it's so gloomy,
Hmm.
dark, slow, kind of ominous, gothic, right? And that was just like, and his character fits within it. Yeah, Professor Albin Eberhard von Franz. Um,
Yeah, exactly. Basically Van Helsing.
yeah, the man who's
Yeah.
into the he's aware of the occult and the dark arts and all this shit, right? He's an interesting character, and
Hmm.
that I like how he actually plays into the movie. Um, and yeah, some of the key people who crew who worked on it. We'd be remiss without mentioning how beautiful this movie looks from a
Yes.
cinematography, visual standpoint. The director of photography, Jaron Blaschke, send him his flowers because every frame of this movie could be you could pause it and it looks like a painting. Um,
100%. Yep.
and that's kind of the period piece, like talking about it's a period piece movie, and romanticism is a key movement during this time, right? So that's why they're using a lot of this natural lighting, and it's just like such a contrast to the city. And when we start to meet these characters in the city, and like just how it sucks you in with the camera movements and the set design and the music, it's not just a testament to his work on the behind the camera, but how good this movie is like it almost. And I think this kind of goes back to Eggers' background in this, him doing this as like a stage play when he was in high school, right? It almost feels like a play
Right.
sometimes the way this movie works, where like the camera's doing things to really kind of put you almost like in the driver's seat of the protagonist. Um,
Hmm.
Visually, there's moments in the movie where the camera is almost shifts into a first person perspective, which I thought was absolutely spellbinding and like interesting because it's when Nicholas Holt Thomas shows up at the castle.
Oh, that whole sequence is so perfect. So perfect the way it's done. And yeah.
The chariot showing up, the low light, the
Oh,
horses and the carriage
so
door opening,
ominous.
and all the way to the castle, even up until when he gets into the castle and he finally arrives there, and the camera is following. We haven't even mentioned the star of the movie. I was just about to say the camera's following Orlok. Did we forget to mention in the stars of the movie?
Bill Skarsgård. We did mention him when you did the impression at the starting, but
True. Yeah,
yeah, we
he is like the
during the main cast talking about the main cast, we did not talk about
maybe
Bill
that's
himself,
how could we forget Bill
Pennywise.
Skarsgård?
Yeah.
Maybe the reason why we could forget is because he disappears in this movie.
Yes,
If you were
he's
not to
not
credit him, you wouldn't I wouldn't know it was Bill Skarsgård.
100%. That's a good way of putting it. If you had said that, yeah, it was an like, it's just that's just because there's the rumor that the original Nosferatu, that the dude, and then I'm rambling, but the original Nosferatu, the rumor is that the actor that played Orlok was an actual vampire,
Yes.
and what was his name? Max Schreck.
Yes,
And
Max
then
Shrek.
that was played up by, funny enough, Willem Dafoe for the movie Shadow of the Vampire,
Yes,
where
yes.
it's all about the making of the movie, and where he plays an actual like he plays a fictitious version of Shrek, where he is an actual vampire. You're right, because if you had seen this modern Nosferatu and they didn't tell us, we didn't know from publicity or the modern age knowing about who's cast and what. But if they just didn't tell us, if they had during the credits a question mark next to Count Orlok,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to guess who it was. I would not have been able to guess that that was Bill Skarsgård. So you're right. Like, he disappears into the role completely.
So damn good. Of
So
course,
good.
Mr. Pennywise himself, and he's been in countless
Yeah, like,
amazing character roles.
he disappeared into that. He's look at John Wick Chapter 4. He does the French accent in that. He plays a villain again, which is funny because Barbarian. I don't want to spoil Barbarian, but yeah, again, great in Barbarian.
Yep. Another,
He's just
yeah.
great. He's just, yeah. I hope he's cast in Werewolf.
Yeah, that'd be nice to see. But
Mhm.
anyway, he's going back to how, like, that one shot in the castle, when Orlok,
Yeah.
Skarsgård's going up the stairs, Holt's character's following him, and then all of a sudden, you're almost like the Orlok himself is seducing the viewer, or your spell's coming over you, because we stop following the main character as Orlok disappears into the distance, and then the camera just kind of creeps into the room, leaving our protagonist at the time out of frame, or our pseudo protagonist,
Right.
really, right? Because it's Lily Rose Depp who's
Yeah.
really the main character. He's just the adventurer. He's almost like the Janet Leigh, other than, like, he doesn't die in the first 20 minutes or something, right? But he is kind of like a false.
Yeah.
It kind of sets you up that you think it's going to be his story, and it's not really. But that, yeah, the camera
No,
goes
not
into
at
this
all.
room, and it's almost like a first person, and then the camera starts to dolly to the right, and then you see the big grand fire hall and Orlok standing there, and then Nicholas Holt's character shows up again. I was like, that scene is when I started to, for the first viewing of this movie, I just started to smile to myself, because I said, that is so interesting, and it's also theatrical in, like, a stagey way too, because you're playing with space and time, not just, like, cheating things, like, digitally or something in that shot.
Right.
Anyway, they do use a lot of effects in this movie. They even admit to it. But it's mostly like putting practical or real things and layering it, right? But this is a shot where it's just the camera doing all the movement. And so I'm like, Jaron Blaschke, the shots are beautiful. The lighting is, like, shot on super fast lenses. They're like T1.1, which is like, if you're shooting on longer lenses, like above 50 mil, or like you're on 75, you're going to be sweating, pulling focus on this shit. And he actually, like, admits it I did some digging, like, behind the scenes stuff, and he, like, I don't know if it was on YouTube or if it was on the Blu-ray special features or something to that effect, but he goes, I'm lucky to have one of the best assistants, focus pullers in the world to work with, because when you're shooting on that fast of a lens, when it's wide open, the depth of field and for keeping things in focus can be very, very shallow. So it's a tough thing to do, and maybe sometimes, a few times in this movie, I've seen people online complain it was slightly out of focus for moments, but I didn't notice that at all. Maybe I didn't, like, pay attention to I don't know, if if you're paying attention to if it's slightly out of focus in a scene, I don't think you're really paying attention to the scene.
Right.
And especially when they're shooting in this, like, low of light, or, like, almost natural condition lighting, right? Like, for using a lot of this light in some scenes, it's mostly like a single source, right? When they're in the big hall behind Orlok, it's this big fire that pretty much illuminates the whole room. And I think the trick that they were doing,
awesome. It looks so good.
Yeah, because it looks like of the time, right? It also doesn't look too, like, overproduced, because it is kind of a dark hall, but the giant fire is so menacing, and backlights, of course, are vampire there. And I think he was using a lot of mirrors to bounce those lighting. So he would, like, pick one really good source light and then try to bounce it. And you can diffuse it with bouncing it as well by putting gels or, like, diffusion over it. So it's pretty damn interesting from a camera operating perspective how they did this movie and how dark it is, but you can still see everything. And it's beautiful at all times. Even the shots when, like, Dafoe is visiting Lily Rose Depp and, like, the sunlight's coming through the window, and you're just, like, it almost feels... It feels realistic. You know what I mean? The movie feels... It has some weight, and it feels grounded, as opposed to, like... It could feel way more fantastical, and I just love the first time we cut
it actually feels like it. Yeah, and it's a fictitious. It takes place in a what? fictitious town, I think, right? It's not. It doesn't say. Oh, maybe it is Germany, but
Germany 19 whatever. What year did they say it
yeah,
was?
yeah, yeah.
A long
It
time
is.
ago in a Germany far, far away.
But either way, it just seems like it seems so realistic, and it just seems like it actually was filmed at the time of the time, right?
Yeah.
And that's how good they are.
And the cinematography brings you right into that. Like, I think even from the get-go, right, when you see Hutter going to like meet before he gets sent off to see Orlok, that whole scene when you get like the is it like the crane shot or just following him through the town, and there's people in the market cutting up meats, and there's livestock, and there's people hustling and bustling around, like the set design and the camera movement, and it's all just like, damn, it's like really, it takes you there. It feels like a world
Yeah,
that you could live in.
100%. Yeah.
So it's a testament to not only Jaron Blaschke, but the people who did the set decoration and set design and everything like that. It really looks lived in, and it looks worn, and it looks like a place you want to be, except for what happens later with, the plague and, Nosferatu.
Yeah. My love hate relationship with the Academy Awards. Like, this was nominated for best cinematography, best costume design, best production design, best makeup and hairstyling, and it didn't win any of them. And I don't know. I'm not sure what beat it, but it's just like, this also could have been nominated for best director, best actor, best actress, and like it
Absolutely.
was so good. And then, yeah, but even getting those nominations, best the cinematography, best costume design, like getting all of these, best production design, like I would have to look at the other ones, but it would in my books probably win production design. So
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
mhm.
I was
That's
watching.
my love
Oh yeah,
hate with the Academy Awards. No, that's just I love them, but they drop the ball on there. The Academy always picks the wrong movie,
yeah, they
most part.
shit the bed. Well, didn't that come out this year too, or something? Like, some of them don't even have to watch movies that are
Don't
nominated.
even watch movies that are nominated. Yeah,
They
that's
just go
ridiculous.
off of
But we're getting
clout, or yeah, we don't want to go down
yeah.
that rabbit hole. That'll take us
Yeah.
back to dark
I got a
times. And
I got a off topic there.
so yeah, the set designs damn fantastic. The camera work's amazing.
Mhm.
Direction's fantastic. The score by Robin Carolyn is really good too. It's haunting. It kind of creeps up on you.
Very.
I enjoy it very, and I saw like it was a real symphony playing all this stuff, and they wanted to make it symphonic. It feels ominous. It feels big, and in this world, it's, I don't know, it just works. It's a creepy movie, and the sound design in this
Mhm.
movie is fantastic too. When you see, like, well, kind of what I was trying to say before, it's almost like it's a dark and almost too fantastical context, or like it's too fantastical, this story, when with the world they're building it in. Like, you don't think a vampire would live in there, you know what I mean? Because it seems so grounded in
Yes.
reality at first, and then
Yep, 100%.
when you see Skarsgård and when he bites and gets Hutter, it's not like a classic vampire, like where you think it's going to be this whole thing. He gets him by the neck, and it's just, no, he's like slurping the blood from his chest.
Yeah.
That's in the sound design, and you're like, that's fucking gnarly, dude. Like, that was
Mhm.
that, like, I don't usually have reactions like that. Like I said, you and I both saw Terrifier 3 together in theaters, things like this. And I'm not saying
Yep.
that's the be all end all of gross out, because that's what it is, right? It's just a
Right
gross
now,
movie.
though, I mean, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's up there for, like, in terms of gross things you can see. And this kind
Mhm.
of similar to Bring Her Back, with the visceral reaction, right? Because the movie is so, yeah, it's a castle, and yeah, he's there, and you can sense something's off about this Orlok. But when you first get that slurping sound, and it's like, oh, I was sitting there watching it, I just grabbed my chest. I'm like, no, you know, I didn't. I felt it. Yeah, it got me. Like,
It
just the
sounded,
design of it.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you see, because he's naked too, right? Like, Orlok's just kind of on
Mhm.
all fours, hunched over him or something, and he's just, you see his, like, whole chest cavity, because he's so, like, emaciated. He's almost getting a rush from sucking in this blood in his whole chest, and is moving in, and it's like, oh my oh, that scene got me,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh,
Like,
so good.
effective
So good.
horror, and it's part due to the score as well. Like the whole thing when he's creeping towards him, and the whole time at the castle is such like a masterclass in suspense.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, a lot of the times you're also being disoriented. I know the DOP mentioned that too as like a visual, I don't know, rule of thumb when you're near Orlok, or when Orlok is like, his spells coming over you type of deal. Because when you enter the castle, you never really, kind of what I was trying to sloppily um, paint a picture of earlier and describe, was like you're kind of, the camera's leading you, but you're being disoriented, because most times in movies, visually, the director's supposed to lead you in what you're going to see next, and them
Right.
thinking about it mentally, you're never sure of what you're going to see next. Like the shot when Orlok starts to move out of the shot away from the flame, and closer to Nicholas Holt there, when they're in the big, doing their dealings, and he's always in the shadows, but he's slowly getting closer, and the music. That's when I knew that I'd loved this movie when I first saw it. When he's pouring him the glass, and the camera, there's no cut, and you see the long nails of Orlok on the glass, and you're like, Jesus, buddy, get out of there. And then the camera doesn't cut, and it goes over, and somehow, with camera trickery and no cutting, Skarsgård Orlok's at the other end of the room already. So he's like teleporting around this room because this other guy's like shitting himself pretty much, right? It's like, that's the type of stuff where it's like, okay, we're not just using CG out the wazoo. We're using actual camera movements, some choreography. It's coming back to Eggers in his direction here, because he's directing this like a stage play. And I talked, a friend of mine said that to me one time too, and I'm like, I agree, because even the way when they go up the stairs, when he arrives at the castle, you see Orlok's feet, right? And you're kind of getting like like the wall of the castle's not there as they're ascending the stairwell, and then all of a sudden his feet disappear. Yes. And you kind of stay in that same perspective for a while, because that's all a set, right? Obviously, but the way it tells the story, and Orlok's feet are just gone, and suddenly when he gets to the top of the staircase, he's nowhere to be found. It's just one of those little things where I'm like, chef's kiss, just subtlety. If you're really paying attention to this, and I'm sure this would have looked amazing in the theaters, and I wish I went to see it in theaters like you did, but I had a really bad experience last year on my birthday, the only time before that I've seen a movie in theaters in the last while, and it was Long Legs, and I had a bunch of teenagers who were like sitting a couple rows, just chomping their popcorn, talking during all the quiet scenes, and I knew this was going to be like a quiet, suspenseful.
That's the problem with horror movies, especially popular horror movies that get promoted a lot. Going a little bit off track here, but yeah, you never know which screening if you're going in, because that's why I'm a little apprehensive about Weapons.
Yeah.
Coming out in a few weeks. I'm like, God damn, I'm so excited for Weapons, but I don't want that where it's like a bunch of tweeny, like kids just messing around going to see a horror movie, right? But I was lucky enough at Nosferatu, that there was a lot of, there actually was a weird crowd. There were a lot of old people. There was a lot of young, it was Christmas Day, right? So
some of the people who've seen the original in 22, they are Orlok. They're fucking vampires are showing up. Wow, they look young.
No kidding.
Yeah, jeez. This is
which actually leading into that, actually, now that I think about it, I was outside waiting for my cab, for my lift, and I could hear a lot of the people talking about it, and it was so funny how split certain people were. There were a lot of people that were saying how much they didn't like it, and I wanted to be like, you're wrong. But everyone's entitled to their opinion, but
yeah,
there was quite a few people that were saying that they didn't like it, and then I heard a lot of good people, good fellas, that were saying how brilliant it was, and I was like, yeah, they get it.
Yeah, I mean, we should maybe talk about the reception and how the movie did before we get into the weeds here. If anybody wants us to change our title of our podcast, instead of Deep Blue Sea, we'll call it the Deep Dark Weeds, because we seem to get into it every time when we're just in the middle of something, and then we get into the weeds. And I like it because we're getting in there. These are the good weeds. These are the 420.
Yeah.
This is but we're in the weeds. before we get there, let's talk about how the movie did. It's generally well received on Letterboxd.
It is,
On
which was
it's
shocking for me to hear that.
Rotten Tomatoes. It's also positive. I think it's sitting at like an 85 or an 80,
Hmm.
so it's up there. So it's generally well received movie.
It
And
is. Yeah.
it seems like the critics liked it slightly better than the audience on Rotten Tomatoes, but also the box office don't lie. The movie was approximately a $50 million budget and grossed over 181 million worldwide. So our boy Eggers is onto something here. Considering this is like,
He is.
I would consider, it's kind of mainstream, but this is like a unique voice
It
in
is.
modern horror films right now, and I can't wait to see what this guy's gonna do next. And I think that's all I
Well,
can really say about it.
he definitely needed this because his last movie, The Northman, it tanked at the box office. It didn't do well at all. And then Lighthouse and Witch, they did probably really well. I haven't looked it up, but they did I'm sure well for their like the indie audiences. But like The Northman was being touted as like his first big budget movie, right? Big
Yeah,
production.
yeah,
Because The Lighthouse and The Witch, they were mainly like more independent. But it tanked, so he needed this, and I'm so glad it did so well because now he has all this clout for his next movie, and he's doing Werewolf, and like I'm excited too. I'm really excited for it.
yeah. You want to see these, especially younger filmmakers. Unfortunately, even if movies are enjoyable, sometimes movies just don't hit with an audience. They don't make their money back, and then you get worried about the future of it, right? Because like Wes Craven
Hmm.
once said, like even if you're be incredibly naive to forget that it's a business at the end of the day, and anyone who tells you differently is
Exactly.
is trying to sell you something. Because you do need to
Yeah,
make a
because
movie,
this
and
did
this
so
is
well, and then everyone's talking about Eggers. I know now at one point before Werewolf was like set as his next movie, there were all these rumors of what he was going to be doing next. There's at one point it was he going to be doing a remake of Labyrinth,
wow, that
which
would be
again
interesting.
I'm glad he's doing an original movie for his next movie again because like I feel like he would do a very good job with Labyrinth, but I'm like at the same time I'm like, oh, now he's getting away from his indie roots
Yeah,
where
he's
he's
telling these
doing a
stories.
remake. Well, he did. What am I saying? He's doing a remake. Nosferatu is a goddamn
A
remake,
remake
but
of a remake
just
of
a
a
remake of it.
yeah.
But yeah, exactly. So Labyrinth is different in that sense that this is a Jim Henson movie and like oh okay.
Dance magic. You remind me of the Babe. I wonder what he'd do with that. Holy shit.
It did make me curious, but at the same time, when it was announced now that Warwolf is like he's full on doing that one, that yeah, I was happier about that. There was another one was that he was going to be doing an adaptation of A Christmas Carol
Oh God. Willem Dafoe would
with
obviously be
Willem
a shoe
Dafoe
in.
as Scrooge.
Yeah.
Yeah, as Scrooge. So I and these were all rumors too. So I don't know for sure if he's going to do those after, but yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, well he's got a lot going for him. Eggers is super exciting. One of the most exciting, at least on my radar right now. Even though I'm a fake. Some call me like a bandwagon. You might call me a bandwagon hopper because I still haven't seen The Northman, but I loved Lighthouse and I own that movie. I've watched it a few
Oh,
times,
Lighthouse. Oh yeah.
and I like The Witch. I need to get a better copy of it because I think the last time I watched it, it was like it didn't have subtitles, so it's a little tough
Oh
to
no.
follow. I think it was a rip copy of it, but um, yeah, Eggers is fantastic, and this was one of the movies
Mhm.
like you said you watched it and then you watched it again, like for us to watch it. Did you watch it before we were going to review it? Because your original thoughts, because you said some people said they didn't like it when you were in the theater, some people said they did. Did your opinions change after you rewatched it again, or did it pretty much stay the same?
I liked it. I liked it more, and actually felt the same when I rewatched The Northman. I still think his two best movies are his first two, but all of his movies have been 5 stars for me. Which says a lot about him because like I liked this when I thought this was brilliant when I saw it in theaters, and then rewatching it, I liked it even more. I think his movies get better with each rewatch.
I would agree with you.
Mhm.
Rewatching this one for the second time, I definitely picked up on some stuff I think I missed the first time, and just
The ending is fantastic. The whole last bit,
yeah.
like that shot of the claw going over the whole town.
Oh yeah, that was fantastic. It's
Yeah,
giving me
just
some
little
Lenny
little bits like that.
Riefenstahl, Triumph of the Will there, film 101, eh?
Yes.
Almost. And there's Hitler's plane going over the town. It's the shadow. It's really an allegory for Nazism in World War II. But this is, of course, Nosferatu's hand, right? So Eggers knew what he was doing with
Mhm.
that shot because it tells a lot. Here are the plagues entering town. Here's a ship of rats that just
Oh,
crashed. We know he's in town. And the hand. Yeah, it was fantastic. Um,
I feel like Eggers should have done. He should have done the last voyage of the Diameter, that vampire movie that came out what, 2 summers ago now.
yeah. I've never seen that one.
The
Was it good?
Dracula movie, all of it, such a cool idea about Dracula's voyage on the ship, because it's mentioned in the book like that he like basically feeds on the crew, right? So it's such a cool idea for a movie, but they botched it.
I like that they did show that in not in this new movie too in Nosferatu
They
because
did show that for brief, but I feel like if he had done that, like a whole, like
oh
he
yeah,
had taken over. Let's say the director of that was fired and they got Robert Eggers in. I feel like it
it,
would have been such a better movie.
yeah, that concept is so cool, and I like that they even acknowledge it in this one. Like they're like, hey, something's wrong with some of the guys on board, and then you do see the one guy snooping around at night, and of course Orlok gets him, and but they don't have to show too much.
Yeah.
It's just enough so you're like, oh my god, he is a threat, even though sometimes he's trying to
Hmm.
present that he's not, right? But we all know he's not quite what he seems. Um,
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
yeah, it's Eggers is fantastic. I know that we were talking about how this was like similar to a play, and it's one of his like movies he's been trying to make for a super long time. Doing some research on it, they talk about that in like the
Yeah,
commentary, and
his passion project.
yeah,
Yeah.
like even Jaron Blaschke, the DOP, he said like this is probably his most personal film because he's been wanting to do this since he was like committing to film because he did it in high school in his senior
I.
year.
Mhm.
Him and somebody else co-directed it, and then he said a theater, I guess close by or something, saw it or heard of it, and then invited him to do the Nosferatu play with them in like a more professional setting, and that's what Eggers said changed his life into wanting to direct for a living. So he's been thinking
So
about
there
this
you
movie for
go.
a long ass time. So it's like tough to call it even a remake. Like, of course, it shares the same name, same characters mostly, but it is such a. It feels like a fresher take on it, especially with Lily Rose Depp's character
Hundred
being
percent.
the main
Yes.
protagonist, and it's more. Yes, the stories, even the old ones, were about lust in the sense, but it wasn't. This movie's very not right out of the gate
Of its
explicit of
own.
that, but it does it that is what
Hmm.
it is, right? It's about Lily Rose Depp's character, and it's about Orlok and their lust, and Ellen and Orlok, and that's I think what makes her
Even
performance so
talking
good too.
about it. Yeah, even talking about it right now just makes me want to rewatch it again. Hopefully, I can get my Blu-ray copy of it back soon.
Well said. Yeah, it'd be a shame if you didn't, eh? Be a real
Yeah.
shame.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
but we should be celebrating, give a little round of applause because this is the second episode of Film Club where we've mentioned the same actor, Dafoe. He was in our very first episode of Film Club when we did
Defoe.
To Live and Die in
That's
L.A.
right. He was Defoe in that. He was Willem Dafoe in that. In this movie, he is Willem Friend.
Yes, he is, and he's also friends of cats. I think that's what made me love him the first time when he sits down to diagnose what's going on with Ellen, Lily Rose Depp, when she's starting to have these her feverish dreams and possessions at
Hmm.
night, and her being pretty much possessed by Orlok. Um, the whole Defoe showing up, being the voice of reason, even though he does have those humorous lines, and having a cat treat in his pocket. Oh, Greta the cat. And well, even early in the movie, I just love this subtle touch of humanity in this, and even in this dark story, where we meet this cat in the first, one of the first scenes in the movie with when Thomas and Ellen are together. Right, they're having an intimate moment, and this is just before he goes off on his adventure to Orlok's castle, and the
Right.
cat jumps up and she goes, oh, Greta. He's like, oh, don't let her up here, love, she shouldn't be up here. And she loves it here. And Dafoe, the first time he shows up, what's the line they say to each other? He's like, oh, your cat. She's like, and Lily Rose Depp says something like, oh, she has no master. He says, oh, naturally, as he just kind of softly laughs to himself. He knows. And he has a cat treat in his pocket and gives it to the cat. I'm like, my God, Eggers, this Dafoe, this is, again, chef's kiss. The subtlety in the shit he does in his direction, and these little nuanced, to me, funny moments, right? Because I don't know about you, but I'm a guy, I love animals, and I love animals more than I love
Me too.
than I can, I'd say, love most people, tolerate
People.
most people,
Yep.
because
Most
animals
people.
are, yeah,
Yep.
animals are so when something bad happens to animals in movies, I'm batting 1,000 on being pissed, right? Like, irrationally. So
Yeah.
to see that, even in the climax of this film, Defoe's character picks up Greta the cat. I don't know what that symbolically is saying, but I love to see it. You know what I mean? After the demise of our characters there at the end of the film, which is also like, maybe we should talk about the ending in a little bit. We'll get there, but I want to talk about the cat. I just like to say the cat survives, everybody, and there's lots of cats. Fantastic, A+.
Not a spoiler, but spoiler. But I mean, if you're listening at this point for this long, then you should have seen the movie by now. So
Yeah, we're not reviewing films here. We're just discussing them. Like,
we're discussing them.
what
So
right do we have to review? I mean, everybody reviews nowadays, and we both been to
True.
film. We've both studied film before, right? So we're no slouches. This guy,
but yeah,
where you live right now, didn't you move there just because it's across the movie theater? Tell me the truth.
well, the proximity was
It was enticing.
Yeah, the proximity was enticing.
And that's not even a
Knowing
flex.
that
I'm not. I'm just like. I'm
No,
just.
no.
You,
Knowing you can see the movie theater from my balcony is very nice. So.
yeah, that's got to be like a little bit of a factor in there, right?
And I'm only a bus away from the Highland too. So
Shout out Highland Cinema, London,
two
Ontario.
the 2 movie theaters, very close vicinity.
That's good because that gives you lots of options.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, I like to see Defoe. It's nice to see Defoe back, and because he was the bad guy in To Live and Die, and now he's in this movie. And of course, him and Eggers have a bromance going on. And Eggers calls him one of the greatest actors of all time. Lily Rose Depp says he is one of the GOATs as well. You can't go wrong with Defoe. At this point,
wrong.
he's just like he's come a long way. Like back in my day, he was just one of those guys who was in movies. And then like I just realized it this week, right? Because we watched Nosferatu. We were supposed to talk about this movie a while ago. Since then, I've watched about 3 or 4 other movies, and they've had Willem Dafoe in them all. So there's no escaping this guy, and he's so good in everything he does. Like just recently, I watched Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, Wes Anderson, right? And him playing the role in that one is like the guy who's just like following Steve, and just like some of the lines he has, I can't describe it, but he's just a great actor.
No, it's just so funny that you would say that because we were supposed to talk about this movie a few months ago now, I think, and like I've watched several movies with him as well, and I watched the Florida Project where that was his, I think one of his only, I can't remember if he got nominated for Platoon, but one of his only Academy Award nominations was for the Florida Project, and he's so good in that movie. And then like before that, I had watched Spider-Man, which Spider-Man was probably my introduction to him. I can't remember a movie. I can't think of a movie I would have been watched of his. Maybe Body of Evidence, probably not.
True.
Whatever the Madonna movie he did.
Okay, yeah.
But no, like he was like, that was my introduction to him, was Green Goblin. And he's not a like nice looking dude. He looks like it's like, yep, you're going to be the villain in this. You're
Yes.
going to be the villain in this. He does play such a good villain. That's why I found that funny. I don't know where I saw that first, probably on some social media of Willem Dafoe, Willem Friend, because like when he does play a good guy role, such as in Nosferatu and the Florida Project, he plays it so well too. He's so good.
And he could be
He's
super
so
funny
versatile.
too. Like he could be funny. Like even in
Yes,
Life
yeah.
Aquatic, like he made me laugh my ass off as Klaus. Esteban was
I'm
evil.
not a big fan of
Oh my
that.
god, he made
I'm
me
not even a
laugh.
big fan of that movie, and I think he's the best part of that movie.
He's so. I just love. Everybody wants a friend like
He's great.
Klaus, right? He just incessantly, without waver, he just adores the ground Steve Zissou, Bill Murray walks on, and I'm just like, everybody wants that in their life, right? He's just like the no nonsense, I love you friend, and he'll follow you to the ends of the earth. He's so hilarious, and you compare that to Nosferatu, and it's you get like a he's got so much going on. I think the first movie I really remember Defoe from. We're just giving him his flowers for a minute here. Um, American Psycho. I love him in that movie as well as the
Oh, right.
detective
Jeez.
interviewing Bateman,
Yeah.
and they say that they shot those scenes uh, the way when he's interviewing Bateman as like they shot it three different ways, like one that he knew he was guilty of the murders, one that he didn't know, and one that he was unsure, and they edited it all together. So the performance is even I'd love to see what ones they picked. I'm sure maybe if we went back with a keen eye we could break it down between shots, right? But
Yeah.
obviously that's a
Yeah.
great Christian Bale performance as well. But
Well, yeah.
let's not get in too deep dark in the weeds here. Yeah, Defoe, love him. Yeah, they shot this movie. I like the compositing of it because they did some stuff where they shot it in Prague and Czech Republic as Visburg, but you also get like the shot when you see when Thomas is going on like the horses are taking him in the carriage, and it's off to the castle and the wolves are chasing him. You have that really wide shot, almost like the master shot of this whole countryside, and it just looks so haunting and beautiful, right? And
Hmm.
at first I'm trying to figure out when I'm looking at the shot, I'm like, is this isn't all in one shot? And of course it's not, and they admit that there's a lot of effects in this movie, but they do a good job of hiding them because everything that they're shooting they composite, right? So if they're doing something like in that shot, I think Eggers said there's three different layers. So there is a cart or a carriage going around this bend, right? It's on a hill. There are wolves running on this hill, but they're just two different shots and they're put together. They're layered together. And the castle's not there, right? So the castle's was really shot but layered in the background, and then like the big ravine and like the forest on the side of the frame, pretty much the rest of the frame,
Yes.
that's all
Yes.
composited. So there's multiple layers to this. Like even when they're going in like when they're in the what is it, not the ravine, but they're like in the boat, right? They're going down the canal there. That
Mhm.
shit's all green screen, but they composite it so well that
But it
it
doesn't.
looks,
Yeah, it doesn't look it. It
yeah.
does not look it.
So, and yeah, the stuff that they did with all those, they said they had 200 trained rats and everything else was like fake rat rugs that they put real rats on top of. So it just looks like hundreds, maybe thousands of rats. Damn, those rats
Oh,
deserve
I
a nom.
remember. I remember that shot of the rats. One of the shots of the rats from the trailer, and seeing the trailer for the first time, being like so excited for this movie just from that shot alone, and being like, "Oh my god!"
So good. So good. Yeah.
They really, and he kept Skarsgård. Other than like he kept the voice, but he kept Skarsgård. The look of Orlok hidden.
That was an interesting
And
marketing
he
choice
told
too, eh?
it was, and it was awesome because you only see him from the back in the one trailer, and that was it. Like turning his head, but you don't see him really. And then that was great. That was a great choice of. And Eggers asked everyone, please, that saw the movie. He's like, don't ruin it. Don't say anything about his voice or
Keep it a secret
don't
until you
spoil it.
see the movie, right? And obviously we spoiled it now,
Exactly.
but you're too late for that, pal.
Well, again, yeah.
And
Funny enough, I thought, and I don't mean this as a slight, and I always go back to video games, but I thought he kind of looked like Soda Popinski from Punch Out. But I don't mean that as a slight. He looked creepy as fuck, but when I first saw the mustache, it caught me off guard, and I was like, holy shit, he looks like Soda Popinski, but
put him up, pal. Fuck, that's funny. I was gonna segue at some point with a cheesy I mustache you a question about Orlok's look, but
well,
like
some people, my brother, I'm pretty sure my brother, he does, I don't think he listens to these, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't a big fan of this movie.
oh
He liked it. He did like it. Don't get me wrong. He did like it. But I think he was like, "Oh, what was with the mustache?" It was like, "Oh, come on, that's
well
nitpicking."
it is because I think the reason he did that is because he was actually Eggers talks about he wanted to actually make it look like a Transylvanian nobleman would in reality.
And see,
And it
that's a
also
good
gives
point.
and it
Yeah,
also gives him his own like and if you really want to, not to say it's wrong or it's right, obviously having an opinion on it's not wrong either, even if you disagree,
yeah,
but it's
exactly,
just like if you don't like the mustache look, at least it's within the realm of feasibility, right? It's not just like, hey, he's got a
exactly. It's not
mohawk.
like he did
It's
it as
not.
a yeah.
It's of the
It's not
period
like he did
piece.
it as a yeah.
It also gives him his own visual identifier, his own iconography. Because even his jacket in this movie, I fucking love the way Warlock looks. Even though he's got
Oh,
the
his
first
look is
time,
amazing.
he looks so tall, and the way he kind of glides and his jacket with like
Hmm.
the fur along he looks ominous as hell, man. And he doesn't have to be like physically like super fast or like, but it's just the domineering like feels powerful and it feels like a presence,
Absolutely.
right?
And that's a credit to like not having it spoiled for you
Yeah.
before because when you first see him, it was just like, oh my god, and hear him when you first hear him too, that
Yes.
voice,
It's so good.
like
That's gotta hurt to
holy.
talk
Can you
like that.
imagine if like, oh my god, but like, can you imagine if that had been ruined from like a trailer or like just hearing it online beforehand?
Yeah, I
Because when
think
you first
oh
hear that, oh,
yeah, it gets
so
you.
good.
It gets you good. Like he has such a look too, and I think they were talking about that in the special features. They kind of talked about. I think it was the visual effects team. They said, "Yeah, just going off of the prosthetics and how Bill looked in it, they thought they were gonna have to do
Hmm.
some like visual effects and like VFX to juice it up a little bit, give that actor zhuzh, if you will. But it looked
Right.
so good, and he also Bill being the amazing freaking actor he is, he knew that once he got into the makeup and he was doing the Mongolian voice throat exercises, and he was trained by an opera singer to lower his voice an octave and all this stuff. So he's like sitting there getting into this character, and the prop, the prosthetics, the everything. He's like, I don't have to do much. Sometimes like it's less is more, right? And I think it kind of
Hmm.
goes into what we were just saying about how his performance and like the presence and how domineering and powerful he feels in this movie, even though he's obviously falling apart before our very eyes, right?
Right.
But he's still
Yeah.
holding it, and he's so ominous and foreboding. And yeah, the prosthetics team and the special effects who like do this bodysuit, he talked about it. The heads in hand would be like 3 hours long, and to do the full body, where the scenes like where he's quote unquote Count Moorcock Orlok, full body would take 6 hours. Yeah, a little Always Sunny there for you. He hangs dong, dude. But Bill says he didn't have to do much after he gets into all of this, right? Because he's already been doing this voice. He's training his voice and to get to this, so he's just like being able to come out of that dark place once in a while. They said he would still crack jokes, and I think there's behind the scenes footage where he's just like, "Hey guys," and it's Count Orlok, like in full. It's like when you see
Oh my
Robert
god.
Englund doing Freddy Krueger, and he's doing makeup, but
Yeah. Yeah.
he's doing
Yeah.
an interview, and he's just like, and yeah, and he's talking like all like about all his intellectual things, well articulated guy, and he's just in Freddy Krueger makeup. Same with Bill, where he's like, yeah,
I
Eggers
would
is like,
love to see that. I have seen Bill like giving all the kids from It high fives and he's in full Pennywise.
yeah, he's making sure they're all
By
comfortable.
the way, little off topic, but by the way, he is reprising his role as Pennywise on the this October, the show Welcome to Derry. So I'm excited for that. I'm not much of a TV guy, but I'm excited for that show. Well, I guess the new Alien show too. But
There you go.
yeah,
That
getting off topic.
now we're
Getting
getting
off
into the
topic.
deep dark weeds.
Yes.
The alternate universe title of the podcast.
Bringing us back. Yes, I would love to see him as Orlok, doing like, hey guys, hey.
Oh yeah,
That would be
I
funny
think
because
there
it
is like a
just
short
shows a
clip.
testament to his. It's just a testament to his brilliance and how good he is as an actor.
Yeah, I love. I think there's one little scene. I agree 100% with what you're saying.
Mhm.
There's one little scene where he's like, there's somebody taking a BTS behind the scenes footage of him, and he just looks up and he's getting complete Orlok makeup. And he just looks up.
Yeah.
It's between takes, so they're talking, doing whatever, and they're just chilling. And he just looks up. He's like, "This is breaking the illusion." And it's just like it was
That's
so cool
amazing.
because I can imagine it'd be pretty like, when you're on set and this type of attention to detail into this movie that Eggers puts into his movies. Because obviously, like we said, he's one of my tops right now. He's got to be one of my top,
Me too.
one of the
Me
top
too.
working directors that I'm 100% interested in what he's going to do. He hasn't missed.
That's why, for me, I never go to movies on Christmas Day. I'm with family, but this was the one exception where I was like, "Hey, fam, I love you all. Merry Christmas. I got to get to a movie. It's
Well,
Robert Eggers' new movie,
we'll
Nosferatu. I've been waiting for it for." So it was kind of like that. I never do. I usually like Boxing Day is my movie for Christmas Day releases. Whatever. If I'm excited for a movie, I can wait. Right? I can wait till Boxing Day and go see it then. But this was the one exception where it was like, I, I gotta go, guys. I love you all. Merry Christmas. I gotta go watch this new Robert Eggers movie, and I will be the same with Werewolf.
absolutely. Day one for me. Like I'm on the Eggers train. This was not a day one for me. Like I said, I didn't go to theaters. I via third party, which I will not get into details about, watched it
You had it. You had a theater experience ruined by
once
long legs,
before.
which is
Yeah.
upsetting.
So
But yeah,
I've
that was
I got it via means I will not. Um, I don't want to have to censor myself, so I won't go into how I watched it the first time. But the second after I watched it, the following week, I was able to legally purchase the film, and I own a copy. And I was like, I immediately rewatched it because the first time I watched it, I was like, this film is fantastic. I know there are some naysayers out there who will say that it's. I think the main critique of this movie that I've heard from people who don't love it like we do is that some people say it's slow.
That's what the one of the people that I heard talking was a girl talking to her boyfriend outside of the screening, and she said that. She said, I found it was super slow. And again, everyone's entitled to their opinions, but I disagree. Like yeah, no,
Yeah, I kind of
I thought
disagree. I can see what they're saying. I can
a
empathize
little
with that
bit.
viewpoint. There's scenes where you're like when he first enters that town, remember, and the guy's doing the dance before he gets to
Yeah,
Orlok's house.
definitely.
It does take a minute to get through these scenes, but it also, like we said before, it grounds the movie. You're getting to see him, and
It
then
does.
and then they exhume the
Taking his
body.
time.
They exhume the body, so it does actually have a plot point, because at the beginning of the film, this is all happening. Obviously, we've all seen the movie now, or you wouldn't be listening to this. It's Hutter, Thomas, and he's out there, and he's on his way to Orlok's castle. He stops in this town for the night, and the townsfolk go and exhume a body who's presumed vampire, and he witnesses this all. Of course, this sets up for later in the film when he does believe in evil. So, Eggers is telling a classic good and evil story here, and Thomas's character is a very naive character to start the film, I would say, or at least he's optimistic, which I think plays as like a more, especially at the beginning of this film, it felt like a more traditional style. Oh, okay, this is a Dracula Nosferatu type story. Whereas as the movie progressed, then I started to see what Eggers was really doing with this and his take on this. Right, it's a modern, romanticized. Even though it's modern, it's still not modern because it's a period piece. So it's like paradoxical, but also freaking beautiful. And I don't know, I couldn't take my eyes off the screen the whole time. And some people say that's
Yeah,
slow,
that's why I
but for me,
couldn't.
that's what it's storytelling and it's world building, and everything that they did.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think it's a perfect movie? No, there are maybe a few things that are not. Maybe it is slow to some people. I don't know, but fuck, I give it a 5 as well. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you think I'm being too harsh, or you think it's absolutely
Oh,
perfect?
no. I do know what you mean. Like when you were saying that, I was like, okay, I guess some people could say that, and
Some people
I
thought some
don't
of the
remember
performances
mine.
weren't
I
good
know,
either.
I know people who have given it. Yeah. A buddy of mine, he didn't like Aaron Taylor Johnson's role in it. He didn't.
Friedrich.
Sorry, not role. He didn't like his acting in it. Which again, I guess I can see, but like I disagree. I thought he was very good in it. I can't remember what my brother's criticisms of it. Like I don't think my brother gave it too high a rating.
Yeah, I try to be realistic about this stuff, right? Like, it's all conjecture and it's all opinion here. We're just guys
Yeah,
who
I
love
mean it
watching
has a
movies.
3.7 on yeah, it has a 3.7 on Letterbox, but like again, I would disagree, but
I think it's for a more mature audience, or
and
maybe I don't even want to say older audience, but not to get into the deep dark weeds yet again. Sam Jackson's hovering somewhere over an open pool, giving people speeches with the
oof.
amount of weeds we're getting into. Deep Blue Sea reference out there for you folks. Um,
Oh, my
yeah,
brother, I just read his mini review on Letterbox, and oh, I don't even want to repeat some of the stuff he's saying.
shit, it sucks. I know some people said Lily
No.
Rose Depp didn't do a good job, and I couldn't disagree more.
That's insane. I couldn't disagree more with that. At least my brother gave props to Bill Skarsgård, and he gave props to Holt and Lily Rose Depp. But oh man, that hurts. That hurts. Poor man's Dracula. Oof. Oof.
Yeesh. We're talking Bram Stoker. That used so many iterations of Dracula
I
now
don't know.
too.
I guess he's talking about because he gave 5 stars to Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, which I think is very good. But funny enough, I think drags in the last half.
Oh, there you go.
So I don't know. I don't know. To each their own, right? I think the Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula is very good. Um, but I think that in terms of Dracula adaptation and Nosferatu, whatever you want to say, like this is the silent one is very good. It's again, it's been a long time since I've seen the silent one, the original one, I should say, and the Werner Herzog
Then,
70s one with Klaus Kinski.
yes. I haven't
But
seen that one.
for
That's the only one I
me,
haven't seen.
I watched a VHS. That shows how old, like how long ago I watched it. I watched a VHS library rented copy of that. So I remember finding that one kind of slow. But again, I was really young when I saw it. So
Yeah,
I want to rewatch them. I do want to rewatch them because the original 1922 one is considered one of the greatest of all time, and there's a reason. Yeah, it is. So like I think like you said earlier, you said that this is very much different. Like it is considered a remake, right? But it is so different and it's such a fresh take on it that they are almost like two different movies. So I can't say this is better than that one, but at the same like it's just as good and I want to watch that one again and yeah.
well said, sir. I mean,
Well,
yeah.
I definitely want to watch Shadow of the Vampire again too, just to see Defoe as Orlok. But
And you get being John Malkovich himself, John Malkovich in there.
it's
Uh,
frustrated. I remember really liking that movie. I haven't seen it since it came out, but
but yeah, I don't know what else really to say
you
about.
can't eat my crew. Sorry.
Yeah, Defoe has been
You
in
know
that
what?
one as well, so
I,
he's been everywhere.
I think Defoe. I think Defoe was nominated for that one too. He's so good in that movie. Sorry, I'm getting off topic.
Well, no, it's really on topic. We might want to change this episode to just called the Willem Dafoe episode, because even though it's about Nosferatu, Dafoe has just popped up like a cameo throughout this whole thing, because we're giving him his flowers, and I love him. Just gonna go out there and say it. I love the guy.
Oh,
Fantastic.
he's a goat.
Cinema
Yeah.
would not be the
He just
same.
turned. I think he just turned 70 the other day.
Happy belated birthday, Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, because he's listening, obviously.
Hey, I put it out there so one day.
He's been listening. He's been listening since our first episode to
You
Live and Die in LA. Of
True.
course.
And you never know. Maybe some long lost family member or some like second cousin of his says, "Hey, I listen to this podcast." And then one day we're going to be somewhere, either one of us, and they'll say, "Willem, love you, buddy." And he's going to say, "I heard about this." And he won't even, he've never heard it, but he'll have heard of the love we gave him.
I have something of a podcast myself.
Jesus, the Spider-Man out of nowhere. Esteban was eaten when the fucking guy gets eaten in Life Aquatic. That's the best line in the whole movie. Eaten. He's dead? he's swallowed whole. And there's Dafoe going, Esteban, he was eaten? Is he alive? Oh my god, but in the German accent. Willem, okay, let's get to the end of this movie and then let's wrap this up. Let's exhume this body, or let's talk about how they killed the vampire in this movie. Sex. The natural conclusion, right? It's almost like a long lost love story between Ellen and Orlok, and the way the movie starts is almost how it ends.
Yes.
And
her calling out for someone, anyone, and I don't think she anticipated him, but
and the way he shows up with the
movie.
shadows on the wall, the nice tip of the freaking hat, masterful to the original. I just thought, oh, that's fantastic. I know there's somebody out there who probably was like, oh, they could have done it better, but you do it. In the comment section, how would you have done it better? Then at me. But yeah,
you know how much I sacrificed.
We're just
sorry.
He's back. Dafoe is back again. Just when we thought we were out. But yeah, like the last scene of the movie, like when the sun's coming up and they're out there, and Lily Rose is again in this compromising position, but it shows the commitment to the role in the film. You're getting it on with fucking Orlok, and the blood and everything's pouring out of him because the sun's coming up. And the music and how it hits, and like he realizes he's cooked, his goose is cooked, and they're both not going to make it out of this. And it kind of like it puts a nice cap end on the story, right? And like very haunting last imagery of like his like decrepit body just over her, and it's just like a skeleton of what he was, and the blood everywhere. Oh my god,
so good.
And as stupid as it sounds,
such a perfect ending.
Yeah, I loved it. And as stupid as it sounds, it kind of made me sad for both the characters. Like, obviously, I'm sad for Lily Rose because it's Orlok. Orlok's evil, right? But I almost felt a little bad for Orlok, too, because this is what his whole modus operandi as a character is, that he's after this girl and he wants to be with her. And in the last moments before he finally accomplishes his goal and he gets her, and then just as he's defeated, as the prophecy, as Dafoe, discusses earlier, he prophesizes that this is how it's defeated, and she's the key to it. It's not, the classic gothic horror tale where it's the man who's going off and she's just like the wife who's left behind. The whole movie is really about her character and Orlok, and the third wheel is the husband who gets cucked by fucking Orlok. He spawn camps Thomas, like he cooks him bad. He's like, hey, come out to my castle, I'm gonna screw you over, you're in trouble. He's on a boat and he's freaking heading to her. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's it's so diabolical, this Nosferatu. And then the ending of it, when I don't know why, but it made me feel for him. I think it was due to the fact of the music. It's sad, but it's also like melancholic. Like, there's some hope, but you're still kind of sad for him. I don't know, maybe it's just me.
Yeah, no, I definitely got that too. Yeah, like it's
like they're making you feel some emotion of sadness or something.
Movie, but you are still thinking like,
like, is this really what it was all about? And then it's just gone within almost, pretty quick, right? Quickly succumbs to the in horrifying fashion, the way he goes out with all the bleeding, and I know a lot of that was visual effects, but with some practical as well. Sometimes you just need the visual to come in and juice it up, give it a little extra push to make it crazy. But yeah, a
Right.
fantastic
Oh,
cap,
just
interesting ending.
brilliant ending.
Yeah, to a I thought brilliant film. Um,
Mm-hmm.
anything else you
Couldn't
want to
agree
talk
more.
about?
No, no.
No, that's it.
Yeah,
Nothing else. Willem Dafoe.
I think we pretty much summed up everything. We pretty much got our yeah, said all we had to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, well, with that said, that wraps another episode of Film Club. Thanks for listening. If anybody's still out there, folks,
Thank you,
be
everyone.
sure to leave a thumbs up or a comment, even a subscription. Ring the bell, ding the bell, fling the bell, do something with it. And yeah, we're gonna be coming back. We're gonna be covering a new series, not a new series, but how did do we give it away?
First, well, we are going to be doing another Robert.
Oh, see, now we've
Are
already
going to be
mentioned it.
doing-
We've kind of already mentioned it, so there's a
Yes, we had.
spoiler. So if
Yeah.
anybody's listened, we've already mentioned this movie that we're going to be
Oh,
talking
no,
about
I
really
said
soon.
Robert. Oh my God, why did I think of Robert? It's not another Robert. Good Lord.
Who are you thinking of?
Zach. I forgot the first name. His first name is Zach Krieger.
Yes, and we both liked one of his last movies.
It was his first movie. This is only his second movie coming out in 2 weeks.
That-
Weapons. Zach Krieger, not Robert Krieger.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about Weapons very soon. Hoping to drop that as soon as possible when the movie comes out. I know I'm going to be going to see it either opening night or the following day, so we're on it.
It's probably one of my top anticipated of the year and definitely of the summer. I can't wait.
Maybe we should talk about his other movie too, because we're going to talk about Weapons.
Maybe, yeah. I did just rewatch it. I did just rewatch Barbarian last week. Do you know? It's crazy. Barbarian does not have any DVD or Blu-ray release.
That's criminal. We should petition to get it on 4K release. Or at least Blu-ray, for the love of God.
People already have. Yeah, it's only available on Disney Plus.
I would buy the shit out of that. Shit out of that, because that was a good movie, and I'd love to talk about that because that connects right to this movie. Bill Skarsgård's in that one too. If anybody hasn't seen it, it's streaming right now.
Barbarian.
Movie. Check it out. We might. We should probably
Krieger,
talk about
not Robert.
Yeah.
Zach, not Robert.
Huge addendum. We'll go back. We'll edit it out, bleep it out, and yeah, we're gonna talk about.
Do you want to say what we're doing after that? Because it was your idea, and I am excited for what you proposed the next series that we do after the. Well, your idea was Weapons as well, that we talk about that. But I mean,
yeah, Weapons is going to be good. Nice, quick one, quick turnaround.
I'm excited this week to start rewatching them and just to talk about all of them, because we're going to do all of them. We're still unsure whether we're going to do the show, but I'll let you.
Maybe if anybody's listening and anybody cares at this point, we're going to be doing the Evil Dead series. Hail to the King, baby. So if we do that was nice, groovy. Those games were awesome too. Did you ever play them? Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, we're going to do the Evil Dead movies, the whole series, starting with the original, going up till Army of Darkness, and then we're going to do the remake and also Evil Dead Rise. So that gives us a lot of movies to get through. This is going to rival, or at least come close to rivaling, our count that we did with the Nightmare on Elm Street series, of course. And
5, yeah, they're 5. So
and another one's coming. You know, they just, like, you sent me the link the other day. It was they're making another Evil Dead.
Yeah, Evil Dead Burn. Yeah.
It's definitely a franchise that has a lot of life, and I'm really excited to talk about it because it's been years since I've seen the first and second one. Army of Darkness is literally one of my favorite movies of all time. So just to get to go back and relive these again, it's going to be exciting. So if we should, we'll ruminate on if we should cover the series or not. That's a lot to cover unless we did season by season, perhaps.
But I mean, we'll see.
We'll talk about it. Anyways, if anybody has an opinion on that, put it in to just talk about the Evil Dead show or not. Ash versus Evil Dead. Sound off if anybody's out there. And yeah, with that said, thanks for listening. Keep watching movies. Brad signing off. Jon-Erik, have a good one, man. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Peace out.